Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Lillee Jean Talks Live. I am here with Jon Simon. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing
And
good.
first,
Huh?
let me just say congratulations on season four.
Thank you so much. You know what? That is so nice of you because I put in my Don Most episode and we won actually at indie film festivals. So it kind of inspired me to why don't I do another season? Because he was actually season
Mhm.
3. And I was like, this will be really, really fun because we're out of COVID now, right? We're like back to normal life. So let's catch up with people and see, hopefully life is going good. And life seems to be going good on your part, with Frontmen.
It's going great. We just won our first festival. We're very happy about that. The good people at Cineverse
Very
said
cool.
made it. We were a finalist in another one, and yeah, and like 10 minutes ago, we just made another one. So we're on a roll. We're just stacking victories right now. That's what we want.
Congratulations. What if
Thank you.
the Silicon Beach one? I think that was like a whole thing where you actually had to go there, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we were finalists, semifinalists, whatever they want to call it, but we had a great turnout and it was a great experience because it was a theater full of people. But the
Yeah,
best
I
part
saw.
was me and the cast. There was a row in front of us of 18 people because I was counting them, and for the whole time they were rolling, literally rolling and laughing, and it was great because
Great.
comedy's hard. You don't see, is
Yes.
this going to land? Is this going to
Right, right,
work?
right.
But then actually people are actually rolling over laughing. It was
That's
great.
great. Yeah, you mentioned comedy's hard. Do you write from men or what?
Yes, yes, I write, produce,
Awesome.
and act. So I got a lot of roles I got to keep straight,
So what,
and
like,
that's
what
not
is
easy.
what?
That's not easy. When
Well, obviously,
when
yes, I
half the
know.
brain is producing at the same time that you're acting, and you
Right,
got
right,
to pick
right.
up punch is coming up, and you got to go pick it up, and you got to make sure everybody got their shots going. It's a lot, but it's fun. I'm not complaining.
What inspired you on Frontmen? Like, people don't know what this is watching the show. So, like, a little bit about
Mhm.
it, maybe, a little bit of.
I think well, there's a lot to it. There's movies that you're inspired by, comedies you're inspired by. I'm inspired by comedies like Beverly Hills Cop. I think it's like one of
Okay.
the top 10 movies of all time. But the fun of it is when you watch Eddie Murphy take on different personas.
Right.
Uh, and that's what we do in this. Like we're front men. We look like these clean cut guys, but what we're actually doing is we're leveling the playing field for
Really
women, minorities.
interesting.
We do it in a fun
Mhm.
way. Like we take on some serious topics here. I think in the first few episodes that we've done, we talk about elderly abuse and neglect.
Ooh.
We talk about, well, I made the villain actually a slumlord. So there's
Oh,
that, the
interesting.
breaking of community, the destabilizing of community that happens all across our country.
Right.
So there's a lot to it. Have the same kind of fun. You're young, so I don't know if you've seen some of these shows, but like Hogan's Heroes, besides Beverly Hills Cop, there's Fletch and a lot of Cary Grant movies. He has so much fun with the personas that he takes on. And then I would say more recently, uh, there's an energy to our show. There's a fun to our show that you would see like in Only Murders in the Building,
Oh, that's good.
that you would
Selena Gomez.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Those kind of shows I'm big fans of. But then there's some people have a Peter Pan complex. I think might have a Robin Hood complex
Okay,
where I
okay.
like to see people, not necessarily stealing, but like taking from the rich and giving to the poor. So maybe I got a little of that going on.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Robin Hood's good. Actually, I saw something recently. They can't find where he's buried, but it is plausible the arrow he shot. I don't know. Just a little background on that.
Oh, okay.
God,
Yeah.
yeah. This is like
Only
in
the radio.
no, I mean the real Robin Hood, for real. It's
Yeah.
like English heritage. And yeah, so there's this show that actually did this thing like, is it possible this is a real person? And is it possible all this? Because they don't actually have his grave. And they did all these tests, like, could he actually shoot an arrow, like from when he died, in the area? And all of it's plausible. So they're actually on the cusp of finding this guy, the real guy who
Oh,
writes people. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually on that end. It's a good complex to have
well,
in
it's a
some.
great.
What?
I mean, look how many movies
Oh my
it's
God, I
fed, you
know.
know?
I know. May the
There's
strength
that
be with you.
Robin Hood energy. Hmm. Yeah.
So, what
So,
else?
yeah.
You know what? This is
Oh, I was just gonna,
John, this is what happens when two people who write and direct do a show together. This
yeah,
is what happens. My head is here,
got a
your
lot to say. Tell
head
me.
is
Yeah.
there. You're like, "Ah, you know what? You
Well,
go.
listen,
The guest.
no, no, this is your show. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
But I
What would
wanted,
you like to talk about?
but I wanted to know what you wanted to say before, though.
Uh, Go ahead, ask away, whatever you want to talk about.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, John. I just know it's Lillee Jean Talks Live, so of course I can.
Oh, let me applaud you on one more thing. I saw you interviewed my good friend, director Neil Dumonte.
Oh, I love him.
And what I learned from, yeah, he's a fantastic human being.
Yeah,
And that's really the key for frontmen is you got to find people that you know, trust,
right,
that you can count on to do good work. And that's what I try to do. I try to have a set of people that can, you know, you can count on them to deliver their best work.
right,
They don't need to be babysat. As long as a producer, I can keep things running like a German train schedule, everything just on time. So all people have to do is focus on their jobs. Actors, all they have to do is focus on their acting. Neil, you just focus on your directing. But what I liked about your interview with him is that this whole show, this is you, right?
yeah.
Everything down to the color scheme, all the decisions are yours.
Yes,
Am I
it's
right?
true. Yeah, yeah, I do everything, the
So I
graphics, everything.
Yeah, I applaud you because there's a lot to do when you want to
Absolutely.
do a certain project. That means a lot to you. I'm sure this is a passion project for you. You want to do your best work. So sometimes it boils down to you doing everything,
Oh
right?
yeah, I know. Well, actually, I shot something in Central Park with a fellow actor over the summer. And it's just like a comedy rom-com indie film, and the entire thing is me, the producing of it, the directing of it, submitting it to festivals, all
Oh,
my money. So it's uh anybody in indie film. It's a passion project, and you hope that it reaches different audiences, because compared to like big commercialized projects, indie films bring a different aspects that a big, production company might not want to put their money into. But still, these ideas have a lot of validity to them. So that's why I like watching indie things and stuff, because they're so different. They're unique, very unique.
yeah, they're grounded. They don't
Right.
have to do a cookie cutter type of thing,
That's it. Yeah.
of this amount of expectations. There's always a rawness and an authenticity to it that I enjoy too. And that's kind of frontmen too, because I think the secret sauce, the secret weapon to frontmen is there is an energy to this. When you watch even just the trailer, it's not like anything else I don't think that's out right now.
Would you say your humor is dark, or is it like just like what would you compare your comedian type to? Like your comedic.
I have a real 80s sensibility.
Okay.
When you watch movies, uh, there's each movie seems to have its own voice,
Right.
right? So the 80s with the movies and the music, uh, like let's just talk about music for a second. Everybody had their own sound back then. And it just feels like now people are trying to sound like who's ever the top, who's
Very
ever
true.
making the money.
Right.
So give me any kind of movies, TV, or music that has its own voice, that has something different to say, that has heart to it. So the main thing for me is yes, it's comedy, tragedy plus time, and I've experienced that, but it's all we need, that levity, that healing that comedy brings. So there's actually a lot of dramas that I like that have a lot of comedy within them.
Like a
If you
dramedy.
look at well, you like when I think of, like, let's just say 1 hour dramas or movies, I gotta have some comedy in it. Whether it's watching Gladiator, there's a little.
Okay.
First
Okay.
actually with I love the show Suits. I've been a fan since day one. It's tight. It's got an energy to it. It's
Right.
serious. It's also got the fun aspect between the main characters.
Damn,
So we try to do a little everything.
your
What's
comedy is
that?
so different. My comedy's like
Good.
Kate McKinnon, like that sort of different. Yours is like very sophisticated. But that's very hard to do too, because you have to, hmm, you just need spy
Hmm,
glasses. That's it.
all I
But
need.
yours is very difficult though, because you have to make sure that it's real and believable while keeping it very sophisticated. And so I really commend you on that. Not
Thank
easy.
you.
Not easy. You're not
No.
overdoing it. You're just keeping it here. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think I grew up with, so my grandpa was a master at just straight-faced comedy.
Okay.
Uh, Dry, right?
Mhm.
Almost British. My dad has a wonderful sense of humor where he just says things you don't even see coming,
Okay.
So it's just
Okay.
great. I've had a lot of influences growing up that sort of color, made me a sophisticated audience right away,
Right.
where there was literally times where I was the only one in the room laughing and smiling
Oh,
because I would get what was going on,
oh my
with the
God.
dry humor.
Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know
Grew
them
up
for
in
being like
Minnesota.
comedians, but I guess they are.
Oh yeah, we laugh once in a while when we're not freezing cold. You know, the great thing about Minnesota is sometimes when I think of Minnesota, I think of Prince. And an interviewer asked him, Prince, well, you could live anywhere. Why
Right.
aren't you in France or LA or whatever? And he says, well, I like the cold because the cold keeps the riffraff out.
Okay.
And yeah, it takes a certain amount of character to be able to handle a Minnesota winter for sure.
All I know is that Dorothy, I think that the actress Judy Garland comes from Minnesota. That's all I know.
I think you're right because I saw there was a play at the Guthrie by Judy Garland. I think it was Judy Garland.
Yeah, did you see her slippers? Maybe you saw the article. Her slippers, they're reselling them, and it's kind of like, it's like the Museum of Judy
Yeah,
Garland. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep going. Yeah, they're selling the ruby slippers, which by the way, they were stolen like 25 years ago and the FBI was able to retrieve them. So it's kind of like, oh my God, that's like Hollywood like history.
big time history. One of the
Yeah, yeah,
all-time watch.
yeah.
Exactly.
So are you writing anything new or is it just all frontman from here? Or is there like a secret project coming up that people can know about?
I can know about. Well,
Or none.
no, no, I know there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. As
Okay,
a
cool.
writer, you always writing.
Right.
I'm starting a sports themed one. I'm a big football fan.
Oh,
I grew up.
wow. That's gonna do good. You know, sports always, it has a niche. So that's probably gonna do well.
I think it would be because you've got networks that put big money into sports right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All of the networks, you've got a long-standing relationship between network TV and pro football. So I'm sure they're going to try to tie entertainment in with
Hmm.
that. So I played football, baseball, basketball. So I kind of come to the set, whether it's frontman or from my writing from a sports perspective.
Hmm.
Um, you have to really
Well,
practice a lot. You got to work hard. There's no giving up. You know, in Hollywood, there's really no overnight success stories.
right.
You got to put your time. This is an art. Writing is a craft. And if you think you're going to move to Hollywood and sell a bunch of scripts, you're wrong because there's
Yeah,
certain things that people look for when
right.
they could people in Hollywood can read a script and they can tell if you're green or not just by the way you write,
Yep.
you know? And if they're going to be giving millions of dollars for a show, you better be confident and have your act together.
Right. It also helps when you're a Nepo baby. That helps a lot in many cases. Anyways, uh,
Well, there's always
you know
door
that.
openers for a lot of people. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my dad, Robert Redford, said once, no, I'm kidding.
Are you trying to
Uh,
Nepo on Lillee Jean Talks Live?
I would never.
You just
No, but back to your question. What am I working on now? Some sports themed stuff,
cool.
football themed. And but right now I'm sort of positioning myself actually in the action drama.
Mm.
I have three action scripts I've been working with a writing consultant on. I think
Oh,
they're
wow.
real,
Okay.
you
What
know,
type of
tent
action? Like
pole
007, like Tom Cruise? Like what type? Where are we going with that? How actiony?
historical very actiony historical fiction fantasy is some
Oh,
of it.
what era?
Yeah. Well, they're not tied together, but one is ancient Rome,
Oh, very cool.
one is 1307.
Stop.
Another one is actually, yeah, yeah. So it's a real character study slash action movie about more of the spiritual warrior. Not, I'm kind of tired of the anti-heroes and the stuff like that. I mean, just sort of the spiritual journey that we go on in an action movie.
But
So
like
those are the ones.
like
Oh,
1307. Just take me there. Take me there. Like on what you can say.
sure, no problem. I wrote and produced a comic book called Templar. So it
Oh, the
has to
Templar
do,
Knights. That's what this is kind of
yeah,
mimicking. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Okay.
I have for 20 years, I've had some sort of connection to them. I don't even know what it is, but I knew I wanted to write something about them.
Maybe you were
And
a
what I
knight in
did,
another life. Oh my God. Maybe it's a past
it,
life, John.
I don't know. I'm not sure what I believe as far as past lives, but I just think I needed to put it into a form. I didn't know if it was going to be a novel. I didn't know if it would be a script. I decided on a comic book. I
Okay.
found great artists like Neil, who did the cover and the sketches,
Oh, very
and
cool.
another artist, Paul Mendoza. And we put together just almost a graphic novel sized version of it. And it turned out great. And the feedback has been intense. It's been great.
Is that what you're going to adapt?
Oh, we're gonna get it made.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
I'm
cool.
excited to see that
That's going to be
for
great.
sure. Yeah.
So, wow, you answered everything, John. You just have an answer for everything.
I'm here. I try.
Where, where can people watch Frontman in the meantime?
Okay, so you can go onto Amazon Prime,
Hmm?
and that's where we have the web series. It's just 8-minute episodes. But for the film festival, what we did is I took the great editing of Wes Claggett and Vikram Kale, and what we did is we put it into a pilot. So we've got a 22-minute pilot for Frontmen, and
Wow.
that's what we've been winning with. That's what we've been qualifying
Oh,
with.
really?
And
I thought it was the
we,
littler episodes. I didn't realize it's
yeah, yeah,
oh, wow.
exactly. And we're pumped about it. We think it's got legs. We're everybody here. Let me give you an example. So about 10 years ago, I got this crew of strangers together, all of these actors and crew, and we become a family. And 10 years later, if I say, "Hey, we're doing an episode," we rally circle the wagons, and everybody gets involved. Everybody loves the project.
That's
That's how you know you have when
right.
you've got just a group of people that have become a family that love doing it.
Would you sell it?
So, oh yeah, I mean that's what we're trying to do.
Okay,
We want
because
this to be
it seems like it would be a good
universe.
idea to get her sold and make a lot of money off of it.
That would be the dream, right? Would
Yeah,
be to call everybody into a meeting and then offer everybody jobs.
that would be,
That's
see
going to be the Hollywood.
that's a good intention though, because when things get sold, people sometimes don't get their the job. So I like how you're including everybody in that. That's really thoughtful.
Well, I come from again sports background. I'm all about team because nobody does anything on their own. I'd get really tired of these
Right.
egos say they're a self-made woman, self-made man. No, you had help somewhere along the way. You had somebody telling you something.
Hold on.
And to let your ego run away with you like that is too much for me. I would rather see a group of people come together for one bigger cause than anything.
Did you ever hit
Um,
like majors with football, or did you
did
go
I
anywhere
what?
with it? Did you go anywhere with football? Did you actually like end up in minor or anything? Nothing?
Oh, I actually thought from the age of 5 I'd be a sportscaster, and then God kind of
Oh,
redirected me in writing along ways down the line.
oh,
So that's
interesting.
why, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't, once I didn't get drafted, I knew I was going to probably be a sportscaster.
Oh,
But
wow. Oh, I'm
I love,
sorry.
no, I wasn't even, me being drafted was not a possibility.
Oh,
I was good. Great.
it's so
No,
competitive.
some of these, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably, your
But,
voice does remind me of somebody who could do sportscasting though, because it's very clear. So could be interesting.
well,
Maybe
that's,
somebody will see this.
well, it's funny you say that. I do have also another TV pilot that revolves around a team of sportscasters.
And you play one?
And this is, yes, and
Oh,
it's
very cool. Okay.
dropped in. It's
That is,
great. It's about a fledgling ESPN Sports Center, and the personalities keep clashing, and the egos are too much that they never get up to that level.
oh,
It's just
oh,
it's so
interesting.
it's fun. I love writing. There's not a bigger high for
No.
me than to write a script
No.
and putting the pieces together, like a puzzle. It's great. I love the process. I love learning every day. And that's a big thing for me. I got to learn something, maybe not in writing, but I got to learn something every day, connect with people every day, talk. I have the greatest day when I run into people on my errands and we have a nice connection.
Yeah, I mean, you write what you know. That's most
Mhm.
scripts. You write what you know, you act what you know. Everything is from up here in your brain. So, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you so
So
much. Oh, okay. Well, then there's John. John, it's
what's that?
over.
It's over. I'm done talking. I I've had enough. This is too much. No, I had a lot of fun. First of all, thank you for having me. I love talking with good personalities like yourself.
Thank you. I hope good personality isn't like a masked version of I hate this bitch.
Oh, never, no, absolutely not. No, my friends said that you were great, and they were right.
I love Neil. He's been on twice and he's a good friend through Oscar Benjamin. So he's like family. I love him so much and he's amazing. I call him Beanie Man. So it's like
I caught that. Yeah, what did you say? You coined something about beanies,
um
and his episode. It was funny.
wow, I forgot. Something
A
it's
man of
something
many beanies, or something
like
instead
that.
of
Yeah,
men
yeah,
hat
yeah.
many.
And I told him if you make shirts or something, then like cut I have to be cut into that because come on.
Total situation
Thank
for
you,
sure.
John, for coming on. Where can everybody follow you anyway? Since we know about the show and everything.
Well, Frontman is on Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
And if you want to shout on Instagram personally, I'm at Nostradamus,
Yeah.
JONUS. There you go. Well, I got that nickname real quick. I got that nickname 2008 when I predicted an earthquake. And I
You
got these looks
did?
from people. I entered the office, yeah. So
Ooh.
yeah, I just have fun with it. It's just, there's more to it, but that's a very shortened version of what happened.
I'm glad you like pronunciated because I thought it was Nostradamus, but it's Jonas?
Well, no, it's Janus. Just, Nostra, JONUS,
Maybe
just
your
like my
version's
name.
better. I like your versions better.
Hey, whatever you want to do, I'm fine with it.
That's what
But
they
thanks
all
again for
say.
having
That's what they all
me.
say. And then your name will be Joan. I don't know. Thank you, John, for coming on.
Hey, best of luck with the rest of season 4.
Thank you.